Welcome back to He Can Fix Anything. Today we're going to be changing the oil on this Honda Odyssey. Now this particular minivan has a 3.5 liter V6. So the steps in this are going to be the same on a variety of different years and models as Honda likes to build on a platform where they use a lot of common parts and processes. More importantly, the principles I talk about are going to be applicable on any car you change the oil on. Now, it's always a good practice to check the oil before you drain it. That way you can see what kind of condition it's in. You can see if the car's been using oil, if there's any oil in it. You'd be surprised how many times people bring cars in for service that have never checked the oil and it doesn't even register on the dipstick. Now, this one is extremely low, but it just touches the bottom of the dipstick. So the advice is to be checking it before you need an oil change. Now, on this particular one, the service engine, the maintenance required light has been on for, I think, about 500 miles. And so it's definitely ready for the oil change. If you want to know how to reset that maintenance required light after you're done with the oil change, I have a video. Just look at the top corner of the screen right now, and I'll have a link there for you. The tools you're going to need for this job, most people have, and that is some type of jack, even the jack that comes with your car. I'm using a floor jack, but you don't need to. You also need jack stands. They're incredibly important for safety. And then also you're going to need an oil pan to be able to catch the oil. Next, you're going to need a 17mm socket and ratchet, or you can use a box end wrench, and then some type of an oil filter wrench. I prefer this one because it's much more flexible as far as the angle of attack. You need some paper towels to wipe your hands and the surfaces. You also will need your oil filter and oil, and a funnel is also necessary because this place you fill is kind of a little bit of a remote location. Now, it's very important that the oil you buy matches what the engine's designed to take. These particular Honda engines, just look on the top of the fill cap, uses 0W20 oil. It's a very thin oil, and I think you can only buy it in synthetic, but I know that Honda says this should use synthetic oil. My recommendation is synthetic is not that much more expensive, especially when you go to Walmart and buy the SuperTech brand, and synthetic oil is just so much better than conventional oil. Okay, after you jack the car up, you get just some jack stands on there to keep it safe. What you want to do is locate the drain plug. This particular one, you can see there is a 17mm, and so just get a wrench or a ratchet on that and loosen it up. This one already cracked loose, so just a matter of loosening that up and draining the oil into your oil pan. Make sure your oil pan's big enough to contain all the oil. There we go. All right, that's just about done draining. So you can go ahead and put the plug back in. You want to snug that up with a wrench. Remember, the tighter you make it, the more of a headache you're going to have when you go to loosen it next time. So you want to make it nice and snug, but not overly tight. And the next thing we do is take the oil filter off. Now, conveniently, this one has broke, so I can access this pretty easily. Just get the filter wrench on there and loosen it up. Fortunately, this one was not too tight, which is a common problem, especially with Fram filters that tend to stick. This part's a little bit dirty. You just spin that off and put the filter down on the oil pan that's waiting under there and just let that drain down for a while. Now, once the oil's drained down, and just follow the instructions here on the filter. Basically, it says to wipe the surface clean, add a little oil to this seal right here, screw it on until it touches, and then tighten it 3/4 to 1 full turn. And that's critically important. You tighten it by hand, you never tighten it with a wrench. It just makes it a lot easier. You can get it off by hand if you follow their instructions, and that should guarantee no leaks. And the oil you use, it can be clean, but you can just take a little bit of this dirty oil and put it on that seal, and basically it just needs a light coating of oil on there. So as the instructions said to do, just come up here with a nice clean rag, wipe this mating surface off. Generally they're not too dirty, but if you have a leaky engine, a lot of times you get some buildup of dirt and oil around there, but this one's not bad. And then you just take the new filter. Some people will add some oil in the filter so that you go, you know, you have it basically pre-primed, but that's not critically important. These pumps are pretty good in here. And then of course you have to line up the threads. Otherwise you'll mess around for a while. I gotta put my phone down and get it threaded straight. All right, now I got that going. Just spin it on until it just touches. Right there, it touched, and then you go half. Trying to hold the phone and do this at the same time, but end up with 3/4 turn right there. And usually when you hit 3/4 to full turn, that pretty much takes all the strength you have, and you're not going to over tighten it when you do it by hand. Now the last thing you want to do is to get your oil and a funnel and coffee if it helps, and go ahead and put 4 quarts into this. Particular engine takes 4.5. You want to start off putting 4 quarts in, and then start the engine so that the filter can fill, because part of your oil is going to be in there. Then shut it off. You only need to fill it up till the oil light goes off, and then shut it off for just a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, to let the oil drain back down in the pan. And then add the other half quart, check your oil, and then when it marks full, you're full. It's getting dark here, so I need to tell you the final step is to reset your maintenance required light. It's that there's a little wrench, or it'll say maintenance required or maint rec. And to reset that, I have a couple of videos, one for Toyota and one for Honda. You can check those out on my channel. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye-bye.